The economic and social benefits of steamships, chemicals, and electricity during the Industrial Revolution were the increases in revenue and job availabilities, reduction of resources, the spurring of discoveries, and the overall improvement of life as a whole.
The era of the steamship began in August 1787 when John Fitch had the first good trial of a steamboat in America. By the middle of the 19th century, it was common to see paddle steamers on rivers and short sea routes in both America and Britain.
Between the years 1785 and 1796, John Fitch constructed 4 different steamboats that successfully rode on rivers and lakes. They demonstrated the ability to use steam for water locomotion. Fitch's models use various options for force, including paddle wheels, ranked paddles, and screw propellers.
It is because of these economic problems that Robert Fulton, who in 1807 created the paddle steamer, the Clermont, is known as the father of steam navigation. His steamboat went from New York City to Albany in a 150-mile trip, taking 32 hours at an average speed of about 5 miles per hour. In 1811, Fulton and Robert Livingston designed the New Orleans, which was built at Pittsburgh and has a passenger and route on the lower Mississippi River.
Between the years of 1814 and 1834, New Orleans steamboat arrivals increased from 20 to 1,200 per year. These boats transported cargoes of sugar, cotton, and passengers. In the east of America, steamboats would contribute greatly to the economy by transporting agricultural and industrial supplies.
The steamboat contributed to the growth of the American economy due to its ability to cut transportation time, create jobs, and lower freight rates.
Before the steamboat, river vehicles and wagons were the main transportation source. The primary methods of river transportation were flatboats, keelboats, and rafts. These kinds of river transportations were thought to be hazardous, difficult, and costly. Even though they were relatively inexpensive for downstream moving upstream via foot or horse was very expensive.
In China, cast and wrought iron were combined to make steel. In India, crucible steel was already being made by heating wrought iron, charcoal, and glass to melt the iron, causing it to absorb more carbon. The Middle East also produced high-quality weapons from steel. However, European metallurgists through the Middle Ages continued to expand bloomeries, building large furnaces whose bellows and hammers were powered by water wheels. The cast iron produced was used mainly for cannonballs. Steel possesses properties that made it at the essential medium for constructing the infrastructure of the Industrial Revolution. At the molecular level, the metallic properties of iron made it workable and resistant to tension, while the intermediate amount of carbon added to the steel prevents the metallically bonded iron atoms, which exist essentially as nuclei in a sea of electrons, to slide past each other and bend the metal. This combination makes steel a strong yet workable compound, which is neither as brittle as cast iron nor as soft as pig iron. Though in modern times a variety of processes are used to control carbon content and maximize its qualities, the ability to produce large quantities of durable, malleable metal was integral to the furthering of industrial production. An example of this would be the extended use of steamships leading to mass production of steam vessels.
Chemicals were very important factors in the Industrial Revolution. The very first one discovered was sulfuric acid, which was found in 1746 by John Roebuck, James Watt's first partner.
Adding water could separate the calcium carbonate and the calcium sulfide. This process caused major pollution. Both of these inventions were very important and had a big impact on the introduction of more inventions. Sodium carbonate was used in the glass, textile, soap, and paper industries, while sulfuric acid was used to remove rust off of iron and steel, and also used for bleaching cloth.
These are just 2 of the many chemicals produced and discovered during the Industrial Revolution.
Electricity was a major important outcome of the Industrial Revolution that has greatly affected the modern world.
In 1831, British scientist Michael Faraday proved that electrical currents run through copper wire when it is in a magnetic field. In the 1870s, inventors were able to harness this power with the first electric generator, which could power machines in the beginning. Electricity was used for public places such as lighting town squares, electroplating, and telegraphing.
The most important pioneer of electricity was Thomas Edison, an American scientist famous for patenting over 1,000 inventions, including the phonograph and, of course, the light bulb. The light bulb was invented by Edison in 1879 and replaced messy oil lamps that were dim and smelly. Edison also installed the first electric lighting system in 1882 in New York City.
Overall, electricity in general did not use up or defile and pollute resources, unlike the past power sources. One resource that is still used today is water power. Rivers and dams power electric and hydroelectric plants, such as the first electric plant in Niagara Falls between Ontario, Canada, and New York, USA, opened in 1895.
Spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
The telegraph was a revolutionary invention that influenced today's society in many ways, such as improving communications. But even the best of the best were influenced by something. Telegraphs were greatly influenced by electricity because one telegraph would send an electrical signal to another telegraph through the aid of a wire. Thus, it was sending beep-like sounds from one user to another. The most important influence electricity had on the telegraph was the fact that the telegraph required electricity to transmit signals.
The economic and social benefits of steamships, chemicals, and electricity during the Industrial Revolution were the increases in revenue and job availabilities, reduction of resources, the spurring of discoveries, and the overall improvement of life as a whole.